What if I told you that life only starts to become magical the moment you stop trying to control everything? It sounds risky, but quantum science has already proven that your body vibrates before your mind makes a decision. It's in that invisible space that strange things happen. Synchronicities, unlikely encounters, even animals reacting to your energy. Truly trusting isn't a mental act, it's a cellular activation. And when that awakens, reality bends before you, our whole lives. We were taught that we need to control every detail in order to achieve security. Plan, predict, anticipate. But what if that control is actually the invisible prison blocking quantum manifestation? The real problem is that your conscious mind chases certainty, while your subconscious vibrates on a different frequency. That friction is where anxiety is born. When you try to hold all the reins, the universe simply reflects the effort of holding on. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The more force you use, the faster it slips away. The energy field doesn't respond to what you think, but to what you vibrate. And to vibrate control is to vibrate scarcity. Vibrating trust, on the other hand, collapses entire realities in your favor. Quantum science has already shown that your body emits electrical signals even before you decide something. This means there is a non-local intelligence, greater than your rational mind, coordinating every step. If you trust it, it opens invisible shortcuts. If you resist, it only shows you mirrors of your own internal struggle. Have you ever felt that moment when everything seems to align on its own? People you haven't seen in years reappear. Answers come in dreams. Even an animal reacts differently to your energy. That's not coincidence. It's elevated vibration interacting with the field. These are clear signs that when you let go, the quantum flow catches you. Imagine your life is like the root of a seed. In the darkness of the soil, under pressure, and with no visibility, it controls nothing. But it trusts the invisible force, pushing it forward. It's in that space of surrender that it germinates and breaks through the surface. You only expand when you learn to trust. Now, close your eyes for a few seconds and notice. Where in your life are you trying to control too much? Take a deep breath. Feel your body. That tension is exactly the point where the flow can't pass through. When you let go, you make room for the energy of worthiness that was already waiting. I myself spent 2 years stuck in that dilemma without realizing it. I tried to control everything with positive thoughts, but inside I was vibrating anxiety. It was only when I consciously let go that I felt the power of the timeline leap. Synchronicities appeared. People started coming to me with solutions I could never have calculated. Even my dog began reacting differently, as if sensing my vibrational frequency. True trust is not a mental act, it's cellular. It's feeling. Your whole body aligned like a receiving antenna. In that state, you don't need to force anything, just tune in. The universe responds with a precision no logic could ever plan. From here, we'll explore how science and spirituality meet in this dance. Because quantum trust is not blind belief, it's experiential knowledge. You'll realize that letting go isn't giving up, but collaborating with an intelligence that already knows the way. But first, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, each broadcast is an opportunity to expand your perception and reprogram your subconscious mind to vibrate abundance. If you've already felt the call, this is the moment to raise your vibration and walk with me in this flow. Now, take another deep breath. Feel how your heart beats in rhythm with the universe. If you're here, it's not by chance. Your energy is already ready for this leap. And in the next few minutes, we're going to cross together the bridge between physics and the invisible, because in the space where your mind lets go of control, that's exactly where the magic begins. There's something fascinating scientists have discovered. Even before a conscious decision, your body has already vibrated. Experiments have shown that electrical impulses appear milliseconds before your mind decides. decides to lift your arm or choose a path. This proves there is a subtle field of intelligence guiding every action. This field is the interface between your biology and the universe. Your heart emits an electromagnetic field hundreds of times stronger than your brain. When you trust, this field expands and creates an invisible synchronicity around you. Children, animals, and even strangers feel it without knowing why. It's pure resonance. Now think with me. If your body vibrates before the mind decides, who's really in control? The subconscious, connected to the quantum field. That's why reprogramming your mind isn't about repeating positive phrases, but about realigning your vibrational frequency until it becomes natural. That's how you change your identity and effortlessly attract abundance. In practice, trusting means becoming like a radio station, broadcasting a stable frequency. The cleaner the transmission, the clearer the reception. It's in this state that synchronicities arise. It's in this state that you attract unlikely encounters, as if the universe reorganizes the pieces to show you it's listening. I remember the first time I consciously realized this. I was walking aimlessly, just surrendered, when I ran into someone I hadn't seen in 10 years. That person had exactly the solution to a problem I'd been trying to control on my own for months. Time collapsed, reality bent, and everything happened effortlessly. These moments aren't exceptions. They're reminders that when you let go, the field responds immediately. The challenge is maintaining that trust without falling back into the pattern of control. But that's where practice comes in. Repetition, surrender as a technique. Now do a simple exercise with me. Inhale deeply, hold your breath for a few seconds, and as you exhale, say mentally, I let go and I receive. Repeat it 3 times. Feel how this simple internal programming already begins to shift the vibration. You're training your body to trust. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Until trusting is no longer an effort, it becomes your natural state of being. Like the seed that already knows it's going to bloom without needing guarantees. But pay attention. This doesn't mean passivity. Trusting doesn't mean crossing your arms. It means aligning with a quantum intelligence that operates beyond linear logic. You move, but guided by something greater. You act, but without anxiety. You create, but without strain. And here's the secret. The more you trust, the faster subjective time shifts. Hours turn into minutes when you're in flow, and minutes can contain an eternity of transformative experiences. That's the vibrational evidence that you've entered the field. The most powerful part of all. This is that it's not just about you. Every time you choose to trust, you connect to a collective energy network. Your elevated vibration joins the human field and creates waves that ripple far beyond your personal reality. Deep down, trusting is a collective act. It's activating an archetype of conscious surrender that connects us to something much greater. When you do this, you don't just manifest your own abundance. You help open doors for everyone around you. And in the next dive, I'll show you how this conscious surrender becomes a technique, a practice you can apply. Because letting go is an art, but it's also a science. And you're going to feel firsthand how your reality can change in an instant. When you apply the right method. Have you ever noticed how your body reacts even before your mind interprets anything? A sudden chill without a clear reason, a gut feeling, a hunch that later proves true. Neuroscience shows that electrical impulses are detected in your muscles before you decide something. This means your biology is the first to pick up signals from the field. This changes everything. Because if the body already vibrates before the mind, the control you try to exert through reasoning was never the real command. What truly opens the door to a timeline shift is your vibrational frequency, not your logic. The analytical mind arrives late. That's why manifestation techniques fail when you rely solely on repeating positive affirmations. If your self-image still vibrates fear, the universe responds to fear. But when you activate trust at the cellular level, your entire body emits the message of worthiness. It's like switching radio stations. You don't force it. You just change the frequency. Now, try feeling the ground beneath your feet. Press your toes lightly against the floor. Take a deep breath and notice. Your body already knows how to connect. When you let go, you're not doing something new. You're simply allowing quantum intelligence to take over. It's the same field that guides migrating birds and ocean waves. In spirituality, surrender has always been spoken of. In ancient scriptures, it was called faith. In Eastern texts, Wu Wei, the non-forcing. Today, quantum physics explains it as the collapse of reality. You stop controlling, and in the empty space, the wave of infinite possibilities takes shape, and that shape is not random. It responds to your elevated vibration. It responds to the internal programming you silently uphold. Trusting means allowing that shape to emerge in perfect timing without anxiety. Because anxiety is just the fear that the universe has forgotten you. And the universe never forgets. How many times have you tried to force something and nothing happened? Now remember a moment when everything simply aligned. Which of those experiences brought more peace? That's the simplest test to know whether you're vibrating in flow or in control. I, myself, have experienced the frustration of doing everything right and seeing no results. It felt like swimming against the current. Until one day, exhausted, I simply let go. And within a week, doors I had been chasing for months opened on their own. That's the power of cellular trust. Now I want you to repeat mentally. My body trusts, my mind rests. Feel how that phrase reverberates not just in your head, but in your chest, arms, and legs. You're reprogramming your subconscious. Through your body, not your intellect. The method starts here. Stop trying to understand everything and begin to feel. When you feel, your vibration aligns and quantum manifestation happens spontaneously. There's no effort, only receptivity. This is science applied to spirituality. Neurophysiology meeting ancient wisdom. The heart functioning as an antenna to receive frequencies the logical mind can't translate. And with each practice, your self-image shifts. The secret isn't adding more effort, but removing the excess. Shedding layers of control, limiting beliefs, rigid expectations. Just like the seed that breaks its shell to grow, you break old patterns to bloom. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. Each time you trust, you reinforce a vibrational network that supports all of us. We are interconnected by this invisible field. Your surrender makes space for others to trust too. In the next step, we'll explore how this trust can become daily practice through small gestures that expand your sense of worthiness until it becomes natural. Now that you've realized trust is a bodily act before a mental one, let's put it into practice with a simple exercise. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and hold it for 4 seconds. As you exhale, repeat mentally, I release control, I receive the flow. Do this 3 times and feel how your body already begins to relax. This exercise isn't symbolic. It's technical. It communicates directly with your nervous system that you are safe. And when the body feels safe, the subconscious opens up to manifestation. It's in this state that your vibrational frequency rises and the energetic field responds. Letting go and receiving is like dancing. You take one step, the universe takes another. When you try to lead the entire dance, you step on your own feet. But when you trust, you feel the larger music guiding you. That music is quantum intelligence. Now imagine a seed. It doesn't know exactly when it will break through the earth, but it knows it will. That's the kind of trust you need to cultivate. Not blind faith, but a vibrational certainty that arises in the body's silence. Many try to collapse reality with anxiety, but that only reinforces the idea that something is still missing. The true timeline leap happens when you already feel abundance is here. even before your eyes can see it. It's internal programming. Think of a time when you felt completely at peace, needing nothing. That's the ideal state for manifestation. Because in that state, you're not asking, you're transmitting. You're not forcing, you're tuning in. Now try this. Pick something small you'd like to manifest. It could be an unexpected message, a connection, a kind gesture. Release it into the field now, without attachment to the outcome. Just trust that it's already been sent. In the coming days, watch for the signs. When it happens, celebrate. Because every manifestation, no matter how small, reinforces your energy of worthiness. You're proving to your subconscious that trust works. And that creates an upward spiral of elevated vibration. Remember, the universe doesn't respond to what you say you want, but to what you vibrate as already being. That's why letting go and receiving is so powerful. It's the vibrational translation of I already have it. Now look around. Notice the details that already confirm your abundance. The air filling your lungs, the body that functions, the synchronicity of being here receiving this message. All of this proves you already live in flow. The method I'm showing you isn't a standalone technique, it's a continuous training. It's about turning letting go into a habit until trusting becomes automatic. And the more you practice, the faster you collapse realities that once seemed impossible. This is the gateway to identity shift. You stop being someone who asks and become someone who transmits. And when you transmit, you naturally attract abundance. Because the field doesn't resist the clarity of a clean frequency. A lot of people ask me how to keep their vibration steady day after day. The answer lies in creating an energetic routine. That's why I created the Quantum Journal Bundle, 33 days of guided practices to align body, mind, and spirit. The link is in the pinned comment. In the next dive, we'll go beyond the exercise. I'll show you how to turn challenges and crises into fuel to amplify your vibration. Like the seed that uses the pressure of the earth to grow stronger. Life will always place you in moments of pressure. Situations that feel unfair, blocks. You don't understand pain that demands immediate answers. But the secret is realizing that pressure doesn't come to crush you. It comes to activate your quantum trust. Think again of the seed. It only grows because the earth presses against it. Without resistance, there would be no strength to break through. Your challenges work the same way. They're the invisible lab where your vibration is trained to let go and trust. Every crisis is an opportunity to reprogram your subconscious mind. You can choose to vibrate fear or to vibrate surrender. The first path blocks the flow. The second activates the non-local intelligence that reorganizes everything around you. I've lived this. I've gone through moments where it felt like everything was falling apart. And it was precisely then, when I let go, that impossible solutions emerged. Unexpected people appeared. Hidden paths opened. It was as if reality itself bent to support me. This is not coincidence. It's physics, applied to spirit. The collapse of reality happens when you stop resisting. Because resistance keeps the wave trapped, but surrender allows it to choose the most aligned form. Now, recall a recent challenge. Take a deep breath and say internally, I trust that even this is working in my favor. Feel how that phrase changes the texture of the experience. What felt heavy becomes fuel. This is the alchemy of pressure. Transforming pain into elevated vibration. Transforming fear into energy of worthiness. Transforming crisis into a timeline leap. And the most amazing part is that when you do this, it's not just your life that changes. Your vibration becomes a collective archetype of trust. Those around you begin to feel it, even if they don't understand it. Children calm down, animals approach, strangers smile. As if you become an invisible transmission tower. Your surrender sends out waves that pass through walls and touch hearts. That's the power of the energy field when you collaborate with it. Now notice, the problem isn't the pressure, It's the resistance. When you resist, you suffer. When you trust, you flourish. The choice is yours in every moment. And don't think that trusting means losing strength. On the contrary, when you let go, you discover an inexhaustible energy that comes from the universe itself. You act, but without weight. You create, but without effort. This is the true miracle, realizing you don't have to fight to be worthy. The universe has already decided in your favor. You just need to tune in. You just need to trust that, and in our next session, we'll go deeper into how to turn this trust into a permanent identity. Because it's not enough to experience it once. You must become the very vibration of surrender. Changing thoughts is important, but it's not enough. How many times have you tried to think positively and still couldn't attract what you wanted? That happens because your vibrational identity was still trapped in old patterns. The mind can repeat phrases, but the body emits a different frequency, quantum. Trust runs deeper than a mental exercise. It needs to become your nature, your most intimate identity. That means it's not something you practice now and then, but a permanent state that defines who you are before the universe. When this happens, you no longer need to make an effort to trust. You simply breathe, and you're already in flow. Abundance stops being a goal and becomes a natural extension of your being. You stop seeking and start emanating. This process is like that of a radio station. You don't need to ask it to play a certain song because its frequency is already set. In the same way, when your identity is trust, you're already vibrating the result before it appears. The field merely reflects what you transmit. In this state, your entire body becomes an antenna. Your heart, which emits an electromagnetic field up to 5,000 times stronger than the brain, becomes the epicenter of a new reality. The subconscious stops fighting the conscious mind, and both align in perfect resonance. And when that happens, your presence changes environments. You walk into a space and the energy shifts immediately. People feel calmer around you, as if they can breathe more easily. Children stop crying. Animals come closer. It's non-local intelligence transmitted through your field. But for that to happen, the old identity must be broken. That you who lived trying to control, who vibrated anxiety, who felt small before the universe, that version needs to die so a new one can be born. And this rebirth is not an event, it's a continuous process. Each time you choose to release instead of resist, you weaken the old identity. Each time you say, I trust, in the face of doubt, you feed the new version. Until one day, without realizing it, trusting becomes as natural as breathing. Now pause. Place your hand on your chest, close your eyes and say, I am trust. I am flow. I am conscious surrender. Not just as a phrase, but as a vibration. Feel how your entire body responds, as if every cell recognizes this ancient truth. This simple practice, repeated daily, creates powerful inner programming. Your subconscious, which governs 95% of your behaviors, starts operating from the identity of trust. You no longer need to fight your thoughts. They're already born aligned with the flow dot, and that changes everything. Because from that point on, your self-image is no longer someone who hopes for abundance, but someone who already lives in abundance. You see yourself differently, act differently, attract differently, and the universe responds with magnetic precision. The transformation is so deep that even your perception of time changes. Hours feel like minutes when you're in flow. You enter states of presence so intense that every experience seems loaded with meaning. This is clear evidence that you're vibrating on another timeline, and more. This change is not yours alone. It spreads. When you embody trust, you become a living archetype. Other people, without knowing why, begin to vibrate more lightly just by being near you. You become a channel for a silent revolution in collective consciousness. This is the power of vibrational identity. When you stop practicing trust and start being trust, you become the very answer the world needs. Your life blooms, and at the same time, you help the collective field bloom. And that's why trusting is not just an individual choice. It's a spiritual, scientific, and energetic contribution to all of humanity. Now, close your eyes and imagine. You wake up on an ordinary day, but as you open your eyes, you already feel that something has changed. There's a lightness in the air, a silent certainty that everything is taken care of. You're not chasing, not trying to control, you simply trust. And in that state, life begins to conspire in your favor. That future isn't a fantasy. It already exists because in the quantum field, all possibilities exist at once. The only question is, which timeline do you choose to vibrate on? Control keeps you stuck in fear. Trust opens doors to miracles. You were prepared for this. Every difficulty, every delay, every crisis was a disguised invitation. Life's pressure didn't come to break you, it came to shape you. Just as the seed needs the earth to grow roots, you needed challenges to activate your invisible strength. Now is the moment to declare, to tell the universe that you're ready to live in flow. And for that, I invite you to a simple yet powerful gesture. WRIT, the word trust in the comments. Not as an empty symbol, but as a real vibrational emission. Each letter you type is an electromagnetic pulse in the field. Each person who writes strengthens the collective network. It's not just you affirming trust, it's an entire community, vibrating in unison. Together, we create a field of global synchronicity. And notice, when you do this, something already begins to shift in your body. It might be warmth in your chest, a shiver down your back, a sense of expansion. These are clear signs that the universe responds instantly when you declare trust. Now, visualize a golden wave coming from your heart and expanding. First, it covers your home, then your city, then the entire planet. This wave is the frequency of worthiness. You don't just trust for yourself, you transmit trust to thousands of other beings. This is the true collective awakening. A humanity that learns to release control and collaborate with the quantum intelligence that sustains all creation. When that happens, not only do individual lives change, but entire systems reorganize. And here's the beauty, you're already part of it. The simple fact that you're hearing this message means your consciousness has already crossed the bridge. You've already been called, and now all you need to do is respond, I trust. In the next transmission, I'll reveal the secrets of quantum breathing, a method capable of further intensifying your energy and expanding your trust at a cellular level. But for now, feel that you're already connected to the field. You don't need to wait. It has already happened. Smile, because a smile is the simplest proof that you've let go of control. It's the vibrational signature of certainty. And when you smile, you send the clearest message to the universe. I have already received. If this message touched you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because every encounter here is an opportunity to elevate your vibration, expand your consciousness, and reprogram your mind to live in abundance. This is the final call. Live in flow, trust the invisible, solve through feeling, not thinking. You are not alone, we are a network. The field is already active. And now it's your turn to declare your presence in it. Write, trust, and feel it. Because the moment you trust, reality bends before you.